Hi, everybody. My name is Nanika Edwards. I am a poet and artist and author, linguist, educator from Trinidad and Tobago in the Southern Caribbean. Today, I'd like to share one of my pet peeves. Yes, I'm doing a series on pet peeves. I hope I'm not now one of your pet peeves. I hope these pet peeves are not now, I hope they're not a pet peeve for you. Anyway, let me see. Let me check my notes here. Right. One of my pet peeves is one of my pet peeves is um Christians who are afraid to be transparent with God, like Adam and Eve hiding behind that bush after they or wherever they hid after they ate the forbidden fruit and realized they were naked and all of that. Um Now I would say this. Before Adam and Eve fell, I would like to believe that they were gloriously clothed with the glory of God, so that when they fell and they fell into seeing themselves in their purely fleshly form, it was a plummet. It wasn't just a fall, it was a plummet. They were like, oh my gosh, there's a big difference between regular human, normal human, what a human typically looks like, and what a human looks like when we're clothed with the glory of God, right? So I think that's where the shock came from, right? But and I can understand that, but you know, I still though don't understand believers who um hide from God, who pretend. It's called self-deception. I think it starts with outright deception, and then we start buying into our little lies, whether they're white lies or some other colored lie, and we start believing our lies. And, we kind of go to God knowing we have sin in our heart, but trying to tell ourselves that it's not that bad because we don't want God to think that it's that bad. I don't know. I'm not like that. So I'm not entirely sure how people think about these things. But this much I know, God knows that He made us from clay. He knows that we're just made of earth. We're not made of any kind of super terrific stuff. And, but He still loves us. He still loves us. And I think He loves when we come to Him with our boo boos, as I like to say, whether it's some boo boo that somebody inflicted on us or a boo boo that we gave ourselves. He loves when we come to Him because He's so loving, He's so gentle, He's so kind. I think what He can't stand is when we're dishonest. When we're dishonest and we hide. Now, you notice He didn't come down on Adam and Eve for hiding in the bushes. He just said, where are you? Like, you're not supposed to be hiding from me. We're friends. But, I think we're generally harder on ourselves than God is actually on us. You know, it's almost like we think we're supposed to be God. And when we realize, oh my gosh, I'm not God, we feel ashamed, which is really ridiculous because we're not God. Only God is perfect and God knows that. I'll be honest, I have no problem. I don't think there's anything I've ever hidden like deliberately from God. If there's ever anything major that I don't share with God, it's usually because I genuinely forget. Like I've had conversations with God where I'm like, hey God, there's something I should have been talking to you about. Honest truth is, God, I forgot. It was so deep under the rug that I even forgot it was there. I forgot it was something that was something I really, really wanted to discuss with you. But to say that I deliberately hide from God because I think He's gonna come down on me for being imperfect, no way, no way. The God I know is so gentle, so kind, so patient, so diplomatic. You know, sometimes we go through life and people bludgeon us, like vulnerability in this jungle called life is not a safe place to be, because people sometimes will use our weaknesses against us. So they'll run and they'll tell the whole world. And you see all these people, like you see all the gossip and stuff. You see all these paparazzi spreading on YouTube and stuff. I bypass that. I don't even look at that stuff because I'm like, they're invading people's privacy. That's none of anybody's business. But that's how the world is. People love to feed and feast on the weaknesses of each other. But God is not like that. God is not like that. You know, like I said, he's diplomatic, he's sensitive. You know, if you have a problem that you feel a how about, you're embarrassed about, you feel not so good about, he would be so gentle, so sensitive. He would not hammer the wound. He would just be so gentle. And even if you have a problem where you're like, you know, God, I don't think this is a problem that most people have, and you might be surprised, maybe a lot of people have that problem. And you might be like, God, a lot of people don't have this problem, and I'm so embarrassed that I have this as a problem. God won't care. He really won't care. He'll be so happy and so proud of you, and he'd feel so warmed down to his toes to know that you trust him enough to bring your boo-boo to him, you know. But I guess if we grew up in an environment, whether it's a church environment, home environment, school environment, national environment, where the focus is on perfectionism and there's little mercy in the middle of all of that, we could end up feeling that God is the same way, you know, when he's not. Or it could be that you know, if we've had a very abusive relationship with a father or paternal figure in our life, we may think that God is the same way when he is not. You know, God is not abusive. Like I said, very tender, very soft-hearted, very compassionate, very funny. When God corrects me, sometimes he corrects me in a very humorous way. I remember a couple weeks ago, God corrected me about something, and um I started laughing, and it's only a couple seconds after I realized, wait now, but God was buffing me. I so busy laughing, and then I said, wait now, that was a buff, you know. So God, I mean, God is just so wonderful, so wonderful. I mean, to share our secrets with him is safe. It's safe. It is so safe. So whatever is keeping you back from being transparent with God, I would say put it aside. Go to him with your weaknesses. Whatever you need to repent of, repent of. Because it don't matter how much you hide. It's kind of like a little baby with a real dirty diaper, knowing that their diaper is dirty, and them hiding behind a plant or hiding behind a wall or something because they don't want anybody to know their diaper needs to be changed. You know, even babies do those kinds of things. Yeah, doesn't matter how much we hide, God still catches the stink, and he'd much prefer that we just come to him and let him clean us up, you know, whether it's stink or whether it's a pain or a hurt or a wound or a whatever it is, we can go to him with anything. So yeah, that's one of my pet peeves, that believers don't realize how kind God is, how loving he is, how approachable he is, and that they prefer to hide like Adam and Eve behind a bush. You know, it tells me that we may not really know God, and that's a point of salvation, to get to know God and become more like him. I guess that's why Christians can be so harsh sometimes. Like, we don't know God, so we're always busy judging people and saying this group is disgusting and that group is not so nice and blah blah blah. But God is not like that. He is so kind, so gentle, so compassionate. And no, he does not condone sin. But when you see how Jesus dealt with sinners in the gospel, in the Gospels, he was so gentle, so sensitive most of the times, unless maybe he was dealing with the Pharisees. Those were the people he really couldn't stand. But yeah, please let us come into God's presence boldly, knowing that we are loved, we are accepted, not only because we are children of God, but because God sees that we are clothed with, I don't know how to put it, but like, it's like when we come to God, he sees that we accepted the sacrifice that Jesus made for us, and he's so happy. He's so thrilled, and he accepts us on that account alone. So that's it. That's my pet peeve. But even though it's a pet peeve, it's something I think I could feel great compassion about. Like, but it's also something that bothers me because I think it gets in the way of people experiencing the fullness of our salvation experience and the abundant life that Jesus has promised us. And what it does is it leads people down a path of self-deception. If we feel we can't be honest with God, we won't be honest with ourselves, we won't be honest with anybody, and that's not a good place to be. So yeah, that's my pet peeve. What do you think of that? Would you agree? Whether you're a believer or unbeliever, feel free to chime in. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. So that's it. Okay, till next time.